Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cobb, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. And they've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
Yeah, he did. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. The numbers for Jones last week, there isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
The left side throw complete to Adams. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the early lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The numbers for Abdullah on the ground last week. 20 carries, 119 yards, and the score.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Trey 15, Trey 15. Black, come on.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Following the penalty, Abdullah. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys
under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Out comes Davante Adams in the offense for their next drive. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year,
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Wide open receiver complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
81, 81. Liz 5-3, Liz 5-3.
Wentz now on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
74, 74.
Wentz. And he's going to go down again. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On first down, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
319.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Rodgers to throw once more. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Hey, rip 5-2, on here.
Wentz now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Run. 81. Rip.
Wentz will try again on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and a broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. They do get 6, but they've still got some work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Philip Dorsett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually...
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Black, come on.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Caught left side by Cobb. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. He is putting on a show in this 2nd quarter, racking up the receiving yards as he has a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
74.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. On second down, here's Wentz. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Eagles on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Liz. 82.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
On the ball. Ram.
On first down, Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Great 15. Wrap.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he comes back with one complete. A very solid gain of 27. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
74. Lion.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Wrap. 52, great. Switch.
Now Wentz throwing on second down, eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, a 22.
Over here. Run.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Works over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Wentz now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. And that one results in 35 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Get over there. Go.
On first down, Abdullah. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Josh Gordon, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Left side, it's Dorsett. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Rodgers. Complete to Dorsett. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan, and you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection, so you have to have a counter to that, because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield, so you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And again, it's Rodgers. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of, until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Here's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode.
And, my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A give to Jones. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Nick Perry, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing his Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Josh Gordon, 83 yards. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points. But he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And our focus now moves to Randall Cobb. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
319, 258. Right on it.
Rodgers now on first down. Over the middle, Dorsett. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
319, 258.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter.
319.
On second down, it's Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
319. 319 on it.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got his man on the out route. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now he steps away. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Flag. Hey, rip 5-2 out here.
On play action, it's Wentz. Out to his left. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Rip.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now Wentz. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Just a little bit of a... Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points.